Once all of your birds have been felted with the raw wool and you're ready for color, now the fun part starts. You have to make sure that you have your reference picture with you so you know exactly where the colors need to go. And you also need to choose the correct colors from all the choices. And if you can see this behind me, there are quite a few choices back there. You might not be able to get your exact true color, but that's okay as long as you're close. So all you need is a very small amount, and I just lay it across the area where you're going to want that color to go. So this is just a gray going over the back side of my bird. And I use the spiraling technique, meaning I start in a small circle and I spiral inwards to the middle of that circle, and it's a very fast process for felting. You can easily draw with the color by taking your fiber, and I'll do this with black so you can see this easier, and twisting it and creating a small line. And then wherever you would like this line to be, say I wanted a line going on the underside of my wing right here, I would hold it down and then I would felt it right in place, and that line would stay, that black line. And that is a technique that you can use, and I'll probably need to do that for some of the back edges of my wings have these white and black lines, or gray and light gray and black lines, and so do the tail feather. Now when I get to the orange here under the underside of my wing, I'm going to want to fade that out. So I'll start with a lot of color right about here, and let's just pretend this is orange. I'll let the orange, I'm like teasing out the color here, so it'll be very condensed under that wing, and then would fade gradually away. And then I would just felt that into place. So it's almost like you're painting with these colors. And you can even take two different colors and felt them on top of one another. The face of my bird right now does not have eyes or a beak. It's just this pattern that I have. So you may have to get a different picture printed to show you exactly what your bird looks like from different angles. I think I'm going to make my beak out of Sculpey, but you can also make your beak out of felt. And this was my first attempt, and I think it's a little too long and a little too little at a beak. So all you do is take whatever color you want your beak to be, take a little tiny bit, and I balled up the end and I twisted it together, and I let the bottom hang loose like that, and I put it against the foam and I felted it, just the tip, and I let the bottom stay loose. So you end up with something that has a very loose end that's all frayed, and something that's tightly felted. Then you attach it by putting the frayed end against the area that you want it to be attached to, and you felt in the frayed end onto the surface. This is how I make toes and talons as well. If you look at this owl here, his toes were made with that process. They're a little bit bigger than that beak that you just saw, and I actually twisted up some darker orange and I made some lines on these toes, but that's exactly how these toes were made, and this is where I felted all the toes into the body on the very bottom. You can also draw polka dots with the felt. There's just so many different things that you can do with the color, and it really gets exciting and fun to watch these birds start really taking shape and looking more like the birds that you chose once the colors start to be put on. So have fun with your color. Remember just to use a small amount and in a small layer. And if you need any help, I'm here.